Okay, hello everyone. So this is a little idea for some experimentation you can do. It is quite specifically here, I'm doing it on kind of oil spills and about kind of the sea and sea pollution and oil, but you could do this about toxic. Theoretically, sorry, I'm just getting some water. Theoretically, you could lend this to anything that you're already doing. I think it would work particularly well for toxic and for sea pollution oil spills. So I'm using a cutout picture here, actually, of some tentacles that I printed out to do some drawing. I've actually just cut them out. You can see there's just a piece of paper. I've cut them out. It's quite nice because they fit this jar very well. I've stuck a little bit of sellotape to the top of the jar to hold them in place. I haven't tried this. I'm not tested this, so we're going to see how this works. I also have some inks that I'm going to be using today, a few different coloured inks. And I also have, if I could find it, a pipette. I don't know what a pipette is, it's something like this. Now, obviously I have the equipment I need to do this. You can makeshift this. If you could get yourself some food colouring from the supermarket, that would also work very well for this. You could mix some watercolours with water to make yourself some inks. They might be a little bit washed out. I don't think they'll quite get the colour you need, but food colouring is very good for this. Or if you can get yourself some ink as well, that would work very well. So first thing I'm going to attempt to do is pour some water into my jar. So I've got my picture printed in there. Hopefully, I'm hoping that because it's a printed out image, it won't soak into the water too much. I'm going to put it in fairly carefully and hope that it doesn't damage it too much. Just going to clear out that water bit. I'm going to get a better jar of water. Oh. There we go. Fun to watch. Try not to spill the water everywhere. Oh, this is a terrible idea. 2 seconds. Okay, so after using my terrible idea that was pouring in, I've just picked it up and put it into the tap, filled it in the sink. So my paper is moving around a little bit. Unsurprisingly, obviously you could kind of stick the bottom down as well if you wanted to, but I'm not too worried. Still quite interesting. You can see enough of the tentacles that it works quite well. So the next thing I'm going to do, and again you could do this with food colouring, you could also just pour it straight in. It's not the end of the world if you don't have a pipette. But what I'm going to try doing here, and again I would suggest doing exactly what I'm doing, setting up a video and filming this. Obviously you could do it portrait rather than landscape. You could also take photographs or take some film shots of this. Okay, and all I'm going to do is take a little bit of my ink. I'm just getting my inks open. And I'm going to pour some of my inks. I'm going to start with blue. I don't have any, oh gosh, there's a lot of ink, blacks with me, but bear with me. We're going to play around with some colours. And I'm going to start dripping in these inks. And what we're going to get, see these could be some really beautiful photographs, couldn't they? I'm going to put some green in there. Again, if you're doing toxic slime or anything like that, you could do any colours that were relevant to your project. Now I'm kind of just doing a bit of a rainbow of all of the colours I have available. As we all know, when we mix all colours together, they should turn into a pretty browny, sludgy colour, which is pretty much what I want. So if I could take some, later on, I could now take some kind of screenshots of this. We can just start saying, God, doesn't that look great? Don't we love that? This is the kind of thing where it's just about experimenting. I know you have to go out and get yourself some, I'm going to have to go out and get yourself some colours, some food colouring, but apart from that, it's pretty interesting, exciting. I'm just going to keep going, I'm going to keep dripping inks in. I'm putting quite a lot in there now because I kind of want it to slowly disappear. And as I said, if you're recording this, you could put some music over it and even hand it in as a bit of a video. You can do a practical video piece, why not? We can see it all disappearing now. Just see the touches of those tentacles in there. Just getting some more green in because it's a bit purpley. I love those corners, you can see the light colour. Oh, you can just see it all pouring down now. Yes, we love that. Now that I've done that, I'm realising the jar could have been a bit cleaner. I can see all the dust over the jar, but still, you get the idea. And the impression and the fluff that's all over the jar as well. But doesn't that look interesting? A little bit of experimentation for anyone doing anything about oil or toxic waste. What pictures could you put in there? Could you print out a photograph and have a picture of a city or an environment or a building or a person with a gas mask in a face, and then you fill this? This could be a really great small experiment. And as I said, you could then do a little contact sheet, some little print screens and put them showing stages, the video of it changing. And you could even do a drawing or a painting of partially, of half of the way when that was just merging in. A great little experiment for everyone.